Today I've got a special treat, one of my steak and onion pies. Beautiful. So, what have we got for the ingredients? We won't go into the pastry ingredients just yet, but for the filling for the pie I've got some beautiful braising steak, which I bought from Flixton Butchers. Really nice, look at that. I've also got 3 tablespoons of plain flour, some tomato ketchup, some salt, some black pepper, 2 onions, and I've also made up 600 millilitres of beef stock with 2 stock cubes. So let's get started. So we'll move everything out of the way for now, and I'm also going to be making it in this slow cooker. So once everything's prepared, it'll go into the slow cooker and it'll cook for about 2.5 to 3 hours, because I want that steak really tender in that pie. If you've not got a slow cooker, then you can just put it into a casserole dish and put it into the oven, 160 electric, 140 fan, about gas mark free, and leave it to cook in the oven for about 2.5 to 3 hours to get that steak really tender for your filling for your pie. So what have we got? So here I've got some onions which I've just sliced down the centre for now, and you just want to roughly chop them. Okay. So just roughly chop there. Now this is a lot of ingredients. You could halve the ingredients if you want to make a small pie. I think this will probably be enough ingredients for about 2 pies. Unfortunately, my missus can't have red meat, so she can't have any of the pie. Need more for me. You can freeze it. You can make the filling and you can put it in the fridge for up to 3 days, so you can prepare it in advance, or you can put it in the freezer. It'll last about 3 months in the freezer for your filling. So that's the onion roughly chopped. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cook it in my garlic butter. So what we want to do is we want 2 pans, or a frying pan to fry the onions in. A frying pan to fry the beef in, because you want to brown the beef off first. And then I've got a wok which I'm going to do the onions, cook the onions in the wok and add everything into the wok and then pour it into the slow cooker. So let's get started. So I'm going to take off a good chunk of garlic butter with the onions. I'm going to put that in the frying pan, and then I'm going to take off a good chunk of butter. In fact, that should do it, to brown off the steak. Okay, looks like I'm going to have to make some more garlic butter. Use that for everything. Right, so I'm going to pour the onions into the frying pan and just drop these into that pan. And now I'm going to prepare the steak. First thing we want to do is trim off any fat, because we don't want gristle in the pie. So any fat can be trimmed off. There's not a lot on it, to be honest, but just what there is on, we'll cut off. It's nice, that, beautiful, that. Look at that. Okay. So you just want to cut it into chunks. So decent sized chunks, about that big. That's what you want. Just think about when you have a steak pie when you're out, just think about how big those chunks of steak are. Let's do that now. That's 1 piece cut up. It's going to be quite a lot actually, so I might want to use 1.5 of these, and I might keep some slice back and just have some nice braised steak for Sunday dinner. So I would say that'd be enough to make a pie, a decent sized pie. Yeah, that'd be enough. So what I'm going to do now is drop that into the wok, and this will be fried until it's gone brown, so we can seal it basically. So sprinkle some salt and black pepper on there, and now this can go away. So I'll put that to one side. In fact, I'll just drop it into the fridge. And now we shall start cooking the filling. So let's get cooking. So I've put my garlic butter into the wok and I've melted it so it's starting to foam. I'm now going to drop in the beef and I'm going to fry that and get it all brown. So there's no red showing. So I'm going to seal it off basically, and then I'm going to fry it in my garlic butter. Beautiful. Alright, that's that bit done. And now I'm going to turn on the onions, get them started. And what I'm going to do, and now I'm going to put it into this bowl. Let's drop that into the bowl. And now I can get the onions in there. And you want to fry these until they're softening. Until they go soft and just start to colour. So the next step, once they get soft, is to drop in your 3 tablespoons of flour and get that mixed in. This will help to thicken everything up. So get that mixed well into the onions. Okay. So drop a little bit of this stock into there. A bit to start with. Okay, then I'm going to drop the braising steak back into there, and I'm going to pour the rest of the stock on into there. Okay, give it all a good mixing up like this, and then we're going to season it with some salt and black pepper. Then it'll go into the slow cooker for about 2.5 to 3 hours. We want that steak really tender. If you've not got a stock pot, you can do it in the oven slowly. So it's the salt. Good sprinkle of black pepper. And we also want about a tablespoon of tomato sauce. Get that all mixed up now. I've already turned the slow cooker on so it can start to get hot. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now I'll bring that to the boil and then I shall put it in, drop everything into my slow cooker. It's starting to thicken up now. Right, so let's get that into the slow cooker. Give it all a good stir. we shall leave that for about 2.5 to 3 hours. I'll check the steak. I want it really tender. So in about an hour's time we'll start on the pastry. It's too early to start the pastry yet. So I'll have leave that to cook, and I'll have a bit of a clean up and a bit of a tidy up and get ready to do the pastry. So I shall see you in a bit. Okay, so the filling for the pie has been in the slow cooker now for about an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm now going to start preparing my pastry. I shall be making my pastry in the food processor. If you haven't got a food processor, just dump all the pastry ingredients into a bowl and mix it with your hands so you get a crumbly texture, and then just gradually add water until it all comes together. So I shall be using this, and for my pastry today I've got 600 grams of plain flour. I shall also be using 150 grams of lard and 150 grams of grated cheddar cheese. So that's my fat. 600 grams of flour, 300 grams of fat, 150 grams of lard, 150 grams of cheese, cheddar cheese. So let's get started. I'm just going to throw all the flour into the food processor, hopefully without making a mess. That's all in there. I'm going to put all my lard into there, and I'm also going to drop all my cheese into there. Okay. Put the lid on now. It might get a little bit noisy. That's on. So I'm going to give this a really good blending, and then I'm going to gradually add tablespoons of water into there just until it holds together. Don't want it soaking wet through, be careful. Okay, so here we go. Let's get this pastry mixed up. Like I said, if you ain't got one of these, put everything into a bowl, mix it all up until you get a nice crumbly texture, then gradually add your water until it holds together. So I'm going to give this a really good blasting, so it'll be a bit noisy for a little while. Just have a quick look at that. Yeah, it's getting there, getting there. I'm now going to start gradually adding tablespoons of water, a little bit at a time. Don't forget, you don't want it soaking wet. You can add, you can't take away. Okay, so here we go again. So I've added 3 tablespoons up to now water. You can add a couple more. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's holding together nicely now. That not too wet, just nice. So what I want to do now is to tip that into this bowl. So I need to lift it off. Always happy with that. Tip that into the bowl and then just get it all nicely together. Just clean film. That's the second half. And that'll go in the fridge. And that is about it for now, until we roll the pastry out and make the pie. So I shall see you in about half an hour. Okay, so here's my filling. I've taken it out of the slow cooker, and I've added just while it was in the slow cooker, I added just 2 tablespoons of gravy granules. Okay, so that's it. Just look at that. Just look at that. Absolutely beautiful. That steak is so tender, you just would not believe it. So that's the filling done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start rolling out the pastry and adding this filling into it, and then we can get it into the oven. So I've sprinkled out a good sprinkling of flour on the surface where I'll be rolling it out. Okay. Okay, so that should do. I've got a plate. That should be big enough to go on there. Yeah, that is. So what we need to do now is to get that onto that plate. Hopefully, without it breaking. Just lift it up, roll it out onto there. Okay, so that's the bottom done. Okay, so that's the bottom done, so I'm just going to trim that off, trim the edges. So that's the bottom part of the pie done. And now I'm going to roll out the top part. Again, sprinkle the surface with flour. And let's get this top part rolled out. I'm going to try and lift that up without it breaking now. Breaking. Just going to roll it over the roller gently, like that. Okay, now we're going to add the filling. Look at that filling, just look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Just look at that. Now then, need to leave some room to egg wash the sides of there. So in here I've got one egg which I've beaten and cracked and beaten, and I'm going to push this side of this pastry, put plenty on there. Now we're going to put the top pastry on there. And then we're just going to go around and just gently for now, just gently push it down. Because you don't want anything spilling out and burning it, just holding yourself. So just gently for now. Just push that down. Now I'm going to trim it again, one more final trim. That's the final trim. Now I'm just going to go around the edge with my thumb and just press it in to really seal the pastry together. Top and bottom pastry. And then again, one final trim. And then all that remains to do is just using the egg wash. Just give it a good brushing with the egg all the way around. And all I want to do now is just 3 little slits into the top of the pie, just to let the steam out. And what I'm also going to do, with the remaining pastry that's left, I'm just going to do a couple of little cutouts, like that. I'm going to stick it to the pie using the egg. So just one there like that. The last one can go on there. Then it's going to run some egg yolk over there. And that is now ready to go into the oven. Just look at that. Just look at that. So here we go. We are now ready to put this beauty into the oven. Got myself a nice cup of tea. I've got my potatoes on the go, which are new potatoes, peeled and they're on the pan, on the stove ready. I'm just going to make a quick tea tonight, so just some tin peas to go with it, and I'll make some gravy as well. So this can now go in the oven. It'll go in the oven, 180 fan, 200 degrees electric. I think that's about gas mark 6 for about 20 to 30 minutes. Just keep your eye on it. Obviously you don't want it burning. And then we can dish out. So let's get this beauty into the oven. Middle shelf. And I'm going to set a timer for about 25 minutes, but I will come back and check it just to make sure it's all ready. So we'll set the timer for 25 minutes. And that's it for now. I shall see you in a bit. Okay, so I reckon it's about time for the pie to come out of the oven. I have been checking it as it's been cooking. It's been in now for about 35 minutes on fan at 180 for about 35 minutes it's been in. So let's take it out now and have a look at it. There you have my homemade steak and onion pie. Beautiful. All we need to do now is dish out. So, just a touch of gravy on my potatoes. And peas. Now then, just look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Thanks for watching.